So you had an interesting start to the day in Providence. What time was your van report time that day?
It was 12:45 in the afternoon, so not early. Plenty of time to wake up, get a workout in. I think I woke up, I worked out, I got Uber Eats Chipotle because it was too cold to walk anywhere. It was like blowing at 30, 40 knots. So yeah, I had some guy deliver me Chipotle, but I ate all that and still had time to kill, 12:45, not early.
And you sent me the weather line at that point.
Yeah,
it wasn't looking good. Now, what were you knew, like, looking out the window, like, it was getting bad, or it was bad at that point.
I was talking to you because you're not too far from Providence, but you're more, you're closer to Hartford. So you're like, it's like a blizzard here. And I look out and it's a little light snow, but it's nice looking, right?
Yeah.
So then I go do my workout, I eat my Chipotle, I take a shower, and I look out the window, and your blizzard came to Providence. And
it certainly did.
Oh, and we were getting ready to leave. This was probably maybe, I don't know, half an hour before the van. So then I pulled up the METAR and stuff, and I got it right here. The METAR was 310-13 gusting to 21, which isn't a big deal, but quarter-mile visibility, vertical visibility is 700 feet, heavy snow and freezing fog. So then I started thinking, well, man, I should probably review the winter operations, and how that, like, can we take off in freezing fog? What's the holdover time? All that kind of stuff. But then I started wondering if the plane was going to get in. So I started tracking the plane on FlightAware, and because with those winds, you couldn't do a Cat 3 approach. And for a Cat 1, you need half-mile visibility. Now, they were recording RVR of 2400, so they were able to shoot the Cat 1, and they were able to actually see the runway and land. So the plane did get in, and we were able to leave Providence. But when I was in the van on the way to the airport, I was not sure how it was going to go down.
Yeah, I know that you're thinking about yourself departing and things you need to think about as far as that goes. But at the same time, you're like, I don't know if this airplane is going to come in and land, because there's a lot of factors going against that even happening.
And Providence is a small station. If it diverts to, let's say, Kennedy or something, I'm probably stuck in Providence. I bet we end up, super delayed, if not canceled. So, thankfully they landed, and the rest of it was pretty much a non-event. But yeah, I'm an Orlando guy. I'm a Floridian, born and raised. So the winter ops is a little, it's a challenge, right?
Maybe you think, does that pique your heighten your senses to it, to be like, this is not normal? Like, does that lean into it?
A little bit.
You're just like,
yeah, a little bit. But you also, you're trained, you're professional. So, but yeah, I pulled out the operations manual and looked up, a couple of different things. And because there's a ice clearing procedure for the engines on the Airbus. And so I wanted to make sure I knew, was they ready to roll with that? And then I started thinking Providence, they de-ice at the gate. And then I was like, what's the holdover time? Because by the time we de-ice at the gate and then taxi out to the runway in heavy snow and freezing fog, that time starts to dwindle pretty quick. So, by the time we took off, it was only light snow. So our holdover time was like an hour. So it really it was a non-event by the time we took off. But right when we were driving to the airport, and it was sketchy.
Those conditions too, in the airports that are by the ocean, Boston, Providence too, sometimes the snow can quickly change into like freezing rain or sleet pellets. And those are like no-go items.
You start getting ice pellets, and it's a completely different holdover table,
Yeah, what we do is we use this thing called the HOTS app, so it'll import it'll import the conditions on the field that are there right at that time, and depending upon like when you get sprayed off and what's going on. But anytime you open the HOTS app, it'll give you that time for you, and it'll start the clock running for you as well. But anytime you're in that HOTS app, like, you're totally alert to a changing condition and updating that as well. And it's a tricky situation, especially in that kind of. And it's like the same thing we talked about last week with the accident in Bangor, when the conditions were changing there rapidly as well. And like, those guys went to the holdover pad to spray off. There's no more details out of that.
You've been listening to the Black Box Aviation Podcast. Real pilots, real stories, and aviation news the way it's actually talked about in the cockpit. If you like what you heard, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow so you don't miss an episode. Until next time, keep the blue side up, and we'll see you at altitude.